Uganda's 2024 census shows the country has nearly 14 million youth aged between 15 and 30, about 31% of the total population. But while this group presents Uganda's biggest potential, a new report warns they are also increasingly vulnerable to criminal behavior. The Youth Crime Report, covering the period 2017 to 2024, confirms a steady rise in youth involvement in both petty and serious crimes.
First of all, we looked at the nature of crimes, and we looked at the nature of crime, we looked at gender, we also looked at the capital crimes and also the minor crimes, but also looked at some of the interventions which are being done. Forget about what is being done in prison, but also how are the justice system looking and providing this.
According to the report, the major crime categories involving young people include theft and break-ins, narcotics and drug-related crimes, sex-related offences, assault and violence, and robbery and homicide.
When we talk about youth, we are talking about 18 to 35 years. The biggest rising crime is sexual assault and narcotics. But of course it's followed by homicide, assault, and that is troubling, plus terrorism.
The report notes that the pattern is similar among juveniles who are also increasingly being drawn into criminal activity.
But we notice that among juveniles, sex-related offences, narcotics, and assault and homicide are increasing.
This has contributed to a growing number of young people in detention facilities across the country, now making up over 50% of the prison population.
50.3% of prison population, the youth, which translates to over 44,000 people, youth who are incarcerated.
The executive director of the Uganda Youth Development Link, Rogers Kasirye, says the surge in crime is being fueled by, among other factors, poverty, unemployment and family breakdown, conditions that leave many young people vulnerable.
Because young people are challenged, they are unemployed, they don't have anything, they believe that in order to get money, steal and quick. In other words, young people are not being taught to work hard, but also families are struggling. The other cause is peer pressure.
Most of these offences committed, there's one factor, drugs, CASA cost, goes together with alcohol.
The report also raises concern about a rise in violent extremism among youth and an uptick in juvenile offending involving children under 18. The outgoing country head of the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, Sharon Nyambe, says urgent efforts are needed to address the root causes pushing young people into criminality.
Because young people should thrive. If we create an opportunity for them to thrive, then they'll meaningfully contribute to Uganda's development.
Stakeholders are recommending stronger community support systems, expanded employment opportunities, and targeted interventions to keep young people out of crime.
The key recommendation that Uganda need to develop a national youth crime strategy away from the usual jail sector. The second strategy is increase awareness, but also we're asking government to allocate more money in community policing, allocate money in prisons for rehabilitation of offenders.
I would implore the government and all key stakeholders to invest in generating evidence around the scope of drug use in the country. And using that data, we need to develop a drug policy for Uganda.
The report, compiled using data from JELOS, police crime records and other national systems, aims to guide evidence-based policy and planning for improved youth development outcomes. I'm Benjamin Jumbe, NTV.
No drugs, no violence.